In the meantime, we want to bring in retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral John Kirby, who now serves as the National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications from the White House. Good morning to you, Admiral. I'll pose the same question to you that actually I posed to Richard, which is, right now, the White House clearly putting pressure on Netanyahu and Israel not to respond, saying this was a win. How successful do you think that the president has been or will be in persuading Netanyahu and Israel from not retaliating?
Well, the president's been very clear many, many times. We don't want to see a war with Iran. We don't want to see this conflict widen or deepen or escalate any further. And what the president was willing to do on Saturday night, put American fighter pilots in the air, American ships at sea to help defend Israel, I think proves how strongly we are committed to Israel's self-defense. And that's not going to change. And the president's message to Prime Minister Netanyahu on Saturday night when they spoke was, first of all, congratulations for an incredible military achievement that Israel and its partners accomplished in defending Israeli sovereignty and the Israeli people, but also to the message that it sends to the world that Israel's not alone, and that they are superior, and that Iran completely, utterly failed. And to think about the message that extraordinary success sends all on its own, in the moment, in the region. And again, I won't get into the details of the discussion further than that, but the president obviously has remained steadfast in not wanting to see a war with Iran.
Do you believe that the U.S. support and show of support over the weekend for Israel in this context will change or persuade the dynamic with which Netanyahu is approaching Gaza?
I can't get inside Prime Minister Netanyahu's head to determine what he will or won't do or what he will or will not decide. I can tell you that with respect to Gaza, he and the president had a very direct conversation about a week or so ago. And the president asked for some direct commitments and some action from the Israelis in terms of allowing more humanitarian assistance in. And thus far, they have answered that call. There has been a dramatic increase, some more than 2,000 trucks in the last week or so alone getting into Gaza. That's a good start. We need to see that sustained. And as the president also said, our policy with respect to Gaza will have to change if we don't see significant changes over time on the Israeli side.
Can we talk about funding for Israel, the bill that connects funding for Israel with funding for Ukraine? There's some reporting out this morning from Punchbowl and a number of others that Mike Johnson may be leaning towards an Israel-only aid package. Is that something ultimately that the president would support?
The president supports the bipartisan bill that the Senate passed, and that's the bill that the president wants to see get onto the floor of the House. We know that if it did, there are the votes for it and would pass. And my goodness, if Saturday night didn't demonstrate anything, it should demonstrate to everybody the sense of urgency here and the real threat that our friend and ally Israel is under, as well as our partners in Ukraine. That bill, if it gets on the House floor, would pass quickly and the president would sign it. I won't get into speculating what other proposed legislation might look like or what the president would do. I think we need to see how this plays out. But the best course forward, the one we prefer and the one that we urge the Speaker to take up, is that Senate bipartisan bill.